Let me first tell you what are the barriers to communication. Any parameter that limits the purpose or the channel of communication between the transmitter and the receiver is referred to as a communication barrier. A communication barrier can limit or reduce the ease with which we communicate, hence the word barrier. Number one is a linguistic barrier. One of the major roadblocks to effective communication is a language barrier. The most widely used means of communication is language. One of the barriers to efficient communication is the fact that each significant region has its own language. Even a heavy dialect can sometimes make conversations useless. Diverse employees will have difficult linguistic skills even though they work in the same office. As a result, this would have an impact on communication channels that run across the organization. Number two is a psychological barrier. A range of mental and psychological issues might make it difficult for people to communicate properly. Stage fear, speech difficulties, phobias, depression, and other concerns affect some people. All of these factors can be difficult to manage at times, and they will inevitably obstruct communication. Communication barrier number three is emotional barriers. The ease and comfort with which a person can speak is determined by their emotional IQ. Someone who is emotionally mature will find it easier to communicate. People who allow their emotions to rule them, on the other hand, will face difficulties. Number four is physical barriers to communication. They are by far the most obvious barriers to effective communication. These limitations are, at least in theory, simple to remove. Noise, closed doors, broken communication equipments, closed cabins, and other obstructions are amongst them. Physical isolation between distinct workers combined by faulty equipments can sometimes create significant barriers to effective communication in the workplace. Number five is cultural barriers of communication. As the world becomes more globalized, any large office may have employees from all over the globe. Several fundamental ideas of society have distinct meaning in different cultures, from one culture to the next. Clothings, religions, food, drinks, pets, and general behavior will differ dramatically. As a result, it is critical that we consider these various cultures when communicating. This is what we mean when we say that something is culturally suitable. During the orientation stages of many global companies, special courses are offered to teach people about foreign cultures and how to be courteous and tolerant to others. Barrier number six is organizational structure barriers. Barriers to the communication within the organization. Most of these organizational barriers arise because of misinformation or lack of appropriate transparency available to the employees. Number seven is the attitude barrier. Some people prefer to be left alone. They are introverts or those who are socially awkward. Others prefer to be social or clingy at times. Both of these scenarios have the potential to create a communication barrier. Some people have issues with their attitude, such as large ego and disrespectful behavior. These employees can cause severe strains in communication channels that they are present in. Certain personality traits like shyness, anger, social anxiety may be removable through courses and proper training. However, problems like egocentric behavior and selfishness may not be corrected. Number 8 is perception barrier. The same thing is perceived differently by different people. This is a fact that we must keep in mind during the communication process. Understanding the audience's perception level is critical for effective communication. All messages or communication must be simple and clear. There should be no room for a diverse set of interpretations. Next is physiological barriers. Certain disorders or diseases or other limitations could also prevent effective communication between the various channels of an organization. The shrillness of voice, dyslexia are some of the examples of physiological barriers to effective communication. However, these are not crucial because they can easily be compensated and removed. Barrier number 10 is technological barriers. The technology is developing fast, and as a result, it becomes difficult to keep up with the newest developments. Hence, some technological advancements may become a barrier. In addition to this, the cost of technology is sometimes very high. Other examples can be cellular network not present in some areas, or Wi-Fi or internet speed during a video call may hamper the communication itself. Barrier number 11 is socio-religious barriers. Sometimes a person may feel uncomfortable communicating with people from other religions because of assumptions about others' beliefs and opinions. One main communication barrier stemming from religion is individuals' lack of knowledge or information about other religions and belief systems. So these are the major communication barriers. If there are any other barriers that you can think about, please don't forget to comment on this video. Also, and share it with people